What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we are going to go ahead and cover the brand new Disloyal Retainers, the Onuwabanchu event. Now, I actually completely forgot that this was actually starting today, so getting to this a little bit late. In this video, there's going to be 3 teams to take on this event, one with essentially the full batch, and then 2 additional teams that don't use the batch characters, and you'll be able to build those with relative ease, I would say. So let's go ahead and get into this event. Now, this event is basically run like all other anniversary style events, where we actually get these items, the insignias. If you feed them to a character that gives some EXP, 100,000 EXP. It's not like an amazing item, but essentially they are going to be the point items for this event, and the characters that are boosted on the list will give you additional drops of these items throughout the adventure, and by doing that you'll be able to complete the Chopperman requests, which can include rainbow gems, it can include tickets, and you know, just all the other goodies that we all typically know and love in these event style events, including a red ticket as well. So before we get into that, I want to actually talk about the unit itself, which is this guy right here. I actually just maxed it out, Orochi's Onuwabanchu, a strength-driven free spirit, a class combination that is very uncommon, but a captain ability that heals 2 times their recovery at the end of the turn, 2.5 times attack to themselves. All other characters get 3.25 times attack, and 10% damage reduction where the turn that this character doesn't attack. It's a pretty bad captain ability. 5-turn cooldown, by the way, reduces bind, despair, attack down, special bind, and burn all by 2 turns. Unfortunately, oh no, they do. Okay, I was going to say, unfortunately, they don't have it, but they actually do. They do resist 5 turns of special reverse and 10 turns of special bind. That's actually pretty good. It would have been cool if they had some type of ability to get like double special activation, or an effect that like reduces this character's cooldown every time another type of unit uses a special. That would have been incredible, just so you can get this to activate multiple times in 1 turn. 5-turn cooldown though is a little excessive. There's not too many situations where you're going to get this to activate twice in the same turn. However, the really good thing about this unit though is that they have a good support effect. Only attaching to Orochi though, that's the caveat. Good support only to Orochi, but it says anytime you're inflicted with bind, despair, or attack down, you just remove 1 turn of it, which is pretty useful for a free-to-play unit. This is definitely going to see play in some way, shape, or form. Another thing to briefly mention is that their passive in PvP is really good, level 4 health and attack to strength units. Unfortunately, the attack itself is pretty bad, just applying some attack down and some CT delayed to dex characters. Nothing crazy there, but the passive in and of itself is actually pretty good. So that's the rundown of the Onuwabanchu character. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the video with 3 separate teams to take on this event. Jumping into the video, the first team is essentially just the full batch, of course, and I know not everyone is going to have this team, but I just want to show you guys how the team works. Don't get your knickers in a twist. There's going to be a couple of other teams in this video, so make sure to stay tuned for it. Now, this team is obviously the team I'm using to farm. Now, I could definitely get a little bit more, you know, bang for my buck, I suppose, if I switch out Zorojiro for another actual booster, but Zoro just speeds up the process and it makes it just an easier time to farm, and I personally prefer that rather than getting, you know, a 50% chance for an additional drop or 1 additional drop. I much prefer this, makes it much faster. The strength guy here, he just changes all your slots into recovery and makes them badly matching for around 30 turns, so this is where the Kinemon and Denjiro as a captain are going to be really good, and they're definitely the more optimal unit to use as a captain here, because as a captain they make recovery slots into Wano slots, so essentially just get a full board of Wano slots on stage 3. Orochi will special bind you for 4 turns and give you 4 turns of attack down, so that's not too bad considering, you know, there's a lot of characters that you can use in order to get around that, and you guys will be seeing that in this video today, and luckily it's only 4 turns and not like 6 or anything like that, so it's relatively tame. The final boss versus the Fukurokuju does change his color, so if you have a Psy captain, he actually becomes Int, which is awesome, so you get type advantage there, and he will bind your bottom row for 7 turns, which is kind of annoying, and he does also have 4 turns of Rainbow Shield, and also very lucky that it's only 4 turns and not something like 6. Makes it a lot more difficult for free-to-play players to just get around that, so luckily it's not too challenging of a piece of content, which is good for an anniversary style point farming event. So I'll leave you guys with this, and we'll pick things up in the next team. The next team here is going to be using 6 plus Oden as the captain, and of course we are going to be using the friend Kinemon and Denjiro because of all of the amazing benefits that they provide, which we did talk about in the previous clip, namely right here. As we get a full board of recovery slots, they change them into Wano, and it's perfect. Also, the switch effect of Kinemon and Denjiro, kind of underrated. A lot of people may not understand how it works, but essentially what it does, it gives the enemy an increased damage taken style effect, where you just get 20% bonus damage with your slashes. It's a very good effect, and that is going to be very powerful moving forward into the future, especially if you're able to get this super swap. And the thing about it is, if you've got 2 Kinemon and Denjiros, both of their switch effects actually stack in the same turn. So one switch effect gives minus 20%, the second switch effect will make that minus 20 go to minus 40%, and this is 100% confirmed, meaning that if you have both super swaps active, you get minus 50% and then minus 50%, totaling for essentially a 2 times attack boost with your slashes. It's pretty crazy, especially because the resistance reduction effect does go through immunity buffs. So it's going to be interesting to see how an effect like this is going to be abused in the future. And I think especially in upcoming Kizuna clashes, it's going to be pretty crazy to see how people can abuse that. And I wonder if they're going to introduce just regular specials in the future that will just apply this rather than a switch effect. Maybe we'll have like just a minus 100% with a special effect that will happen in the future. I think that would be absolutely crazy, and I really hope they do something like that, just to add a little bit more flair to some characters coming out in the future. Moving on now to the final clip of the video, which is going to be using 6 plus Yamato as the captain, and Yamato is actually a boosted unit, so 6 plus Oden and Yamato both being boosted is wicked. So if you have those previously released amazing Sugo Fest exclusives, you can use them in this event as your captain. With a friend captain Kinemon Denjiro, you're not going to have any issues here. The good thing about Yamato is that she actually resists bind as a captain, which means on the final boss stage you don't even need to bring a bind remover. So this is one of the more optimal teams to use, because you don't have to worry about stage 3 recovery slots, you don't have to worry about the bind on the final stage, you just need a unit to get rid of the special bind and the attack down. And on the final stage, of course, where the enemy has the rainbow shield for 4 turns, Kinemon and Denjiro will just straight up remove it. So as I said, I think Yamato, Kinemon, Denjiro is the most accessible and easy team to use, of course outside of the new batch itself. So that is pretty much going to wrap up this video today. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
"だから僕はこの国を開国するんだ!"